way to the office take like all 140 kilometer of the duration. So I have to charge in the middle of the day in order to get back home.
Yes, I wanted to show you a little bit more of Canadian media bias here. So it's always in the framing. So that's really the main tool that they use. It's always framing things negatively towards the conservatives, as if it's a conservative position is out of the norm. It's not, acceptable. It's not, it wouldn't be acceptable in polite company, or perhaps some sort of, it's influenced by conspiracy thinking, perhaps, or maybe shadowy, scary MAGA figures south of the border. Let's take a listen to this.
What's the main reason for your opposition, though? Is it all those practical considerations that you just talked about, or is it an ideological opposition to this sort of policy altogether?
So there we go. Is it ideological? In other words, like far right, they're conservatives. It's just ideology. They're conspiracy theorists. They're talking about the EV, the insane EV mandate in Canada, the impossible, unworkable EV mandate, with the goal being 0 internal combustion engines being sold in Canada by 2035. So 0 gas cars in Canada by 2035. It starts next year with a mandate that car dealerships must sell 20% of their inventory must be EV, whether people want that or not. And if they can't do that, they're going to get hefty fines, which will achieve nothing but just driving up the cost of cars. Especially Canada, is freezing in the wintertime, right? Much of Canada is very cold and gets very cold in the winter. And there's a little bit of a problem with EVs. Electric vehicles lose up to 54% of their range in cold weather. Guess what? For a good portion of the year, Canada is a frozen wasteland. It's really cold. Only 9 of the tested electric cars have less than 40% loss of range. This is not good. Deep freeze test for 25 models. Canada gets very cold. What's going on here?
In Calgary, some evidence of that at the Tesla lot, where many people, of course, are trying to get that charge and telling us that their Teslas are only getting about half the mileage as they usually do under these extreme cold conditions.
Half way to the office take like all 140 kilometer of the duration. So I have to charge in the middle of the day in order to get back.
So it's not reasonable for Canada. Plus, it actually damages the batteries long term, the extreme cold that we have across much of Canada. Here's Pierre Poilievre talking about the EV mandate and just, illustrating how insane it is.
In just a few months, on January 1st, the Carney mandate, the Carney ban on your gas vehicle, will begin to be phased in. It will require 20% of dealership sales to be electric, and any car sold above that quota will pay a $20,000 tax. I call it the Carney tax. The Liberals' mandate would continue to worsen as years go by until 2035, when gas vehicles would be banned altogether. The auto industry is already under enormous stress after Mark Carney broke his promise to get a July 21st, 2025 deal to end the tariffs imposed by the United States. The last thing they need is a job-killing, price-hiking gas vehicle ban. The CAA found that all electric vehicles can lose 40% of their power during cold winters. EVs that are comparable in utility and function to their gas-powered vehicles on average cost about $20,000 more. Consumers should be free to choose the car or truck that they drive. They should be able to decide for themselves what they buy and how they get around. And yet we know that Mark Carney's plan will punish them for making those choices, and according to the Canadian Journal of Economics, kill 38,000 jobs across this country.
Yeah, there's so many problems with this, not just the loss of range. Where are people going to charge their cars? You live in an apartment block. Where are you going to charge your car? It takes a long time to charge an electric car. It's not like just driving into a gas station, take you a few minutes. No, you're going to be sitting there for half an hour, maybe even if it's say 15 minutes, right? Well, you're going to have big lineups at the charging station still. It's just not realistic in any world. It's madness. Then the grid. Where are you going to get all of the energy from? Are we going to build 12 giant CANDU nuclear reactors? Those things are very expensive. I mean, at least if they were saying they were going to do that, even though we can't afford it with our national debt right now and with our economy, but at least if they were saying that, like, we haven't heard any, what is it going to be? Windmills, solar panels? That's not going to do the job. This thing is it's bafflingly stupid. And this was a Trudeau policy, but it was a Carney policy. Carney had been advising Trudeau since 2020. We know this. It was in all the papers in 2020. The Carney was coming on board to advise Trudeau. Just take a cursory glance through Mark Carney's book Values, and you will see this has Mark Carney's fingerprints all over it, as does much of the Trudeau policy post-2020. This is a Carney policy. It's insanity. You'd have to think that they're going to scrap it or delay it or something at some point, but who knows? Maybe this is just a really important part of Mark Carney turning Canada into his net zero laboratory. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.